Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders, and local legends shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Zoe Stiles, the founder. Is that the right term?
Yeah, owner. That'll do.
Impresario of My Green Room.
Yes.
Zoe, great to have you on the podcast.
Lovely to be here. Thank you, James. Thank you.
Awesome. So for those of us who don't know My Green Room and what you do, can you give yourself a bit of an introduction and talk us through what you're doing?
Yes. So basically, I've spent my 25 plus years in the events industry, helping on events, being a producer, being an event manager, whatever you want to title it as. And during that time, I discovered that actually, with a background in drama, that I really enjoy helping people to get the most out of their presentations. So whether that be the actual scripting and then going forwards into how they present it, how they perform it, looking at their intonation, looking at their breath, looking at where they position themselves on the stage. I've done a lot of work with lots of different people, from the CEO of Rolls-Royce on one job, and then to just friends and very close colleagues and friends that I just needed a little bit of support and a little bit of help with what they were doing. My goal is basically to try and bring as much life to the event, to the project as I possibly can, find the life in the event and make your content absolutely top notch. Just making, and I love empowering people to excel and to get to their fullest potential, as it were.
Fantastic. I'm incredibly self-conscious now.
Right.
After you saying all of that, but that's great. And that's such an important part of business at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
About how leaders come across and present themselves, externally, but also internally as well. Like lots of kind of town halls that must happen, and people judge how a leader comes across.
Yeah, it's also really important from a kind of retaining kind of information and engaging people, because a lot of the times when I have conversations about what people are presenting and how they're presenting it, it's reminding them that if you are loving or engaged and you're focused on what you're presenting, if you've got a real passion for it, then you can't fail but give that to the audience. So the more you can be engaged with what you're doing, the more engaging you're going to be. So it's huge. And also it's making sure that people really believe you as well, because there's no point in sort of getting up there and just giving a presentation. They've got to buy into what you're saying, and they've got to take something away, and they need to retain that information. It's good for business, obviously, but also it's just good for you as an individual.
Yeah. So you mentioned, the presentation side of things. You mentioned that you had a background in drama. Is that the spark? Is that what got you into doing this? Because it's not many people that with that kind of background, with the skill set, the kind of work that you're doing.
Yeah, I think it probably was. I mean, in fact, it definitely was. I got into events because I realized that I was capable of selling. I mean, the first events I used to do were actually teaching people how to ride pilot buggies and quad bikes for a company called Motive Action, which was years and years ago. And it was getting up in front of people and literally doing a briefing to like 20 people who'd come for a team build day. And I'd have to brief them and say, you've got to do this, mind your safety, health and safety, all of that sort of stuff. And you've got to drive it like this. And that's your course. But you had to be able to get up in front of people and do that. So my drama training really helped me with that. I'm good at connecting with people. So which is why, I mean, one of the other strings I have to my bow is that I'm a host. I'm also a host. I'm a MC. I'll do sort of people's award ceremonies, or I can facilitate Q&As, that sort of stuff as well, because that's all drama stuff. But also it's the ability to see how information comes across and how content resonates with your audience, because it's all really about theatre, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's how you present it and how you perform it. So I think it's the drama and theatre arts (dance) degree that I have.
Today's podcast is brought to you by a great local business helping people take back their time in Bishop Stortford. If your weekends are getting swallowed by cleaning instead of time with your family, I get it. As a dad of 2 young boys, I know how fast those moments can go, and I've been let down by cleaners before. That's why I use Time For You Cleaning. They're reliable, friendly, and give you one less thing to worry about. If you want your time back, head to timeforyou.cleaning and let them know the podcast sent you. Get back your precious time and support local. Right, back to the show. And that must be becoming even more important because of social media, because of this, because of video turning up and actually coming across in the right kind of way. And my background's recruitment, so I'm big into employer branding, and the amount of decisions that I used to have candidates make because they'd seen a CEO or a leader on a podcast or a video interview, and actually, yes, I want to work for that person, or no, I don't, because of the way that they've come across.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and like I said before, one of the things I said was that it being genuine and actually having that believability. I don't even think that's a word, but you need being able to get that across. It is quite a what's the word? It's not a challenge. I'm trying to think. It's like it's an art. It is an art.
Yeah, but
Not
you can
being
practice.
Yeah, you can. Well, do you know what the most important thing is? Actually, you've just hit the nail on the head. With any presentation, it's rehearsal. And it's rehearsal, and it's knowing your script inside out, like you would for a show, like you would for a play. Again, back to the drama side of things. If you know your script inside out, then there's nerves are going to be reduced. You also know that even if you go off script, you know how to get back on it because you know it. You know it inside out. So yeah, that's one of the big things I focus on with content and with presentations is know your content, know it, and rehearsals. Oh my God, so many times people say, oh, we don't need to rehearse, we can do it, we'll just get up, we do it all the time. But the problem is if you don't rehearse, then your presentation becomes your rehearsal. And then you come off the stage at the end and you go, could have done it, I could have done this, I could have done that. Who wants to do that? I think that's really, that's frustrating.
When you don't practice as well, like the script might be perfect, beautiful. You might actually get everything across, but it's the emphasis, the thing that you want the people to remember.
Yes.
Might miss, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yes. And interestingly, that is exactly what I do with my rehearsals. We focus on, they might have the content, but we'll focus on how to emphasize or to highlight something in the script. If you want to make a really, really strong point, there's various tips and tricks, which I probably won't say on here because I'm not giving all of my information away. But there's lots of things that you can do to really emphasize a point, to make people hear you in that moment, to make people sit up and pay attention, to take notice, to retain, and empathy as well. And that huge as part of engagement. If people feel that they can empathize with what you're saying, they can understand, they can feel what you're feeling at that moment. That is a brilliant way of people remembering stuff. Really is.
So you're coming across so passionate. It's fantastic. Who are the ideal people that, anybody listening to this or watching this and they think, oh, you'd be great for this person? Who's the ideal kind of customer for the work that you're doing at the moment?
So to be honest, it's really interesting you asked that because I've done so much work across lots of different industries, as I sort of mentioned Rolls-Royce before because I like to name drop. But I've done loads of pharmaceutical agents, that sort of stuff. But actually, what I'm keen on is helping people closer to home, which is why I was really keen on coming to talk to you, because Bishop Stortford, there's plenty of businesses in Bishop Stortford that will need support with presentations and content. And what I like to describe myself as is a 360-degree speaker coach, because what I'll do is I'll come in right at the beginning, help you create your presentation, think about what's going into it, what you're going to have behind you, which is what I call your scenery rather than your slides, because slides and PowerPoint can do one. Basically, it's your backdrop. It's like a stage, like your set. But we'll go through that, and then we'll look at how you, like I said before, how you present, where you take your breaths, where you emphasize information, and then I'll come with you to your presentation if I possibly can, if I'm allowed to be there to champion you, to get you on the stage, and then to give you feedback when you come off. Because what's the point if you don't know how you did? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so it's 360. So I'd like to focus and give support to small businesses and to businesses that, maybe haven't ever thought about doing this, and how I can support teams. Essentially, maybe just being more confident in how they engage with people. I've done lots of work with exhibition groups of like sales reps basically on exhibition stands, helping them be more engaging to the people they're selling to. So I've done that sort of thing. So groups, individuals. I've done a lot of work with women recently, actually. It's a lot of empowering women going on at the minute. Yeah, so do you know what, James? There's a huge variety of different. There's no one specific type of person that I'm interested in. I want to just get the information out there for people to know that I exist and that I'm there to help.
I think that's fantastic. And I think for local businesses, my thing is now social media. And
Yes.
the more that they can be happy in presenting the work that they do in the way that they know is going to be impactful, and
Hmm.
people just picking up a phone and recording a video, doing the work that they've done, or talking about a successful job that they've just done, or a client that they've just helped. If they can do that more impactfully, it's only going to help them out. So I can see how
Yes.
smaller businesses could certainly benefit from that kind of thing. And the better they are presenting, they might be able to come on the podcast and
Yes.
do some more work with
Exactly.
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's awesome. All right. Are you ready for some Stortford spotlight questions?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. I am. I am. Yes.
I want to give a shout out to a brilliant local business making life better right here in Bishop Stortford. If you've ever felt bored or awkward or unmotivated at the gym, well, you're not alone. Getting fit should feel fun. That's what I love about Vida Wellness Club. Besides yoga, Pilates, they also run friendly, energizing dance sessions like Zumba, Zumba Gold, Broadway Boogie that actually make you want to move. You can book a free session now at vidawellnessclub.com and let them know that the podcast sent you. No pressure, just great vibes and a stronger you. Support your fitness and support local. Right, back to the show. Excellent. Let's get into it. If you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say, and who do you think needs to hear it the most?
So the sentence that I would put there is, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. And for me, that resonates for everybody. It's not necessarily getting up on a stage and presenting to people. It's also how you respond to a social media post, how you talk to a family friend, how you talk to a friend, how you talk to a customer, how you talk to, it's the way that you come across. It's what we started talking about right at the beginning, James, and that for me is massive.
Yeah, I'd like lots of people to see that. I tell you the people we haven't spoken about that I'd like to see that is school leavers. So
Yes.
I used to do, sorry, I'm segue here. I used to do a lot of work with apprenticeships. So young people going into work off the back of education, and they're continuing their education whilst at work. And the way you come across is so important there, and coming across enthusiastic and energetic and willing to learn and having the ability to take feedback and all of those kind of things. It's such an important thing that sometimes school misses out. And so I think if young people, any young people watching or listening to this, think about how you're coming across when you're walking to an interview, or you're going into an office for the first time, or you're asked to do something. Do you eye roll, or do you write down the work that you've been given? For example, I could talk for hours
Yeah. Yeah.
about that kind of thing. But I think that's a nice message. We'll see if we can get that mocked up for you at some
Well,
point.
that would be lovely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, next. This is supposed to be a quick bit. Anyway, next bit. Where do you go in Bishop Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
So I've been thinking about this one as a question. Back in before COVID even happened, I actually live on Stortford Fields, the new estate, and even before this was built, there was a cafe that my mum and one of my children found. My eldest, who's now 17, but at the time I think she was about 7, and they found it and they called it the Secret Cafe. Now, it isn't anymore. It's the Rosie Lee Café that's at the back of, yes.
I've
And
heard
they
about
developed,
this.
Yeah, it's a really lovely, lovely place. So there's two sides to my answer on this though, James, because that was the secret cafe, but it's developed and it's wonderful. And they've got a location in Bishop Stortford as
Mm.
well, the Rosie Lee in Stortford, and then you've got it at one out near just the back of Stortford Fields. Um, but the business in Bishop Stortford that I love and I really want to promote it's Nostemo, I think it's called, is the actual name of the cafe. And it's opposite. Where's it opposite? It is opposite Host. It's a little cafe. It's a Greek Turkish cafe, dare I say. And basically, the welcome that you get when you go in there is just amazing. The guy, he always gives you a little biscuit with your coffee, and it's just the most. It's a family run business, and it's as much as it's little and it's lovely. I don't want it to get any bigger, but at the same time, I really want him to do well. And he's often wanted to do evenings, to do wine and do that sort of thing. It would be perfect. It's called Nostemo Delicatessen, is what it's called.
Fantastic. We will link to that. And I think it's so important that as a community podcast, we get listeners and people that are watching, go and support small, independent, local businesses. Because if you don't support them, they disappear. There's a little coffee shop up in Havers Lane. They shut up shop a couple of weeks ago because they're not getting the business. So, go and support small local businesses. That's a really good shout out. So I've not been there yet. I will make a point of heading in there. I might even take a selfie. If
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Last question. Who's doing something special in town that you think more people need to know about?
So this is a blatant shout out to one of my very dear friends, because the business that she is fabulous. So she has worked over the years in various different industries, mainly in sort of food and catering, and she worked in a Costa for many, so she knows I think she knows most people in Bishop Stortford and what coffee they drink. I have to say, but I persuaded her last year to set up her own business because she's brilliant at DIY, and I mean brilliant. She is basically, and because of pushing her and shoving her and giving her the right direction and telling her it was going to work, she now has her own business. She's a female painter, decorator, DIY, you name it. And her business is called Just Call Gem. Gemma is her name, obviously, Just Call Gem. And it's brilliant because it's really, really important, particularly for women maybe on their own who don't necessarily want a man coming into the house to do DIY. You've got Gemma. She is brilliant, and she's very busy. I mean, she's great.
I bet anyone in DIY is crazy busy.
Yes.
So I completely understand that. But go on, Gemma. That sounds absolutely brilliant. We will link to that, and we must get her on the podcast to try and talk about what she's doing.
Yes, I think she'd be brilliant to come and to chat to you. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get to a point where we can do in-person interviews.
That would be nice. Yeah.
I could knock something down in the house and we can try and do a like an in-person interview. That would be wonderful. We'll put the links to Gemma and her business. The name of the business again is
Just Call Gem.
Just Call Gem. I will investigate that and I'll put it on my fridge as well because I'm not a practical kind of guy.
Right.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. Where's the best place for people to find you online to get involved and improve their presentation skills?
To visit my website, basically, which is www.mygreenroom.co.uk.
Excellent. We'll put the link to that and all your socials as well on that for you. That's a wrap. Thanks for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
Thank you, James. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Wonderful. Thanks, Zoe. And if you enjoyed this episode, the best way to support the show is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, and share it on your socials so that your friends and your family can see what we're doing here in Bishop Stortford, and share it with someone in town who you think should hear it as well. Maybe someone who's not on social media, maybe might miss out on some local stories. If you've got a local legend that you think we should feature next, drop me a message or tag them in the comments below. I love discovering new people and telling their stories. That's it from me. Go support something local today. Bye. If you run a business built on trust, but your website's full of stock photos and silence, we need to talk. True Tone Testimonials helps coaches, consultants, and other service providers turn real client stories into high-converting video content. No scripts, no fluff, just honest words from real people who already love what you do. They're professionally filmed and ready to drop onto your site or into your socials. Head to truetonetestimonials.card.co. Let your clients do the selling. Okay, support local. Let's get back to the show.